Funny thing is, I don't know how many takes I have taken for this video now. Something or the other happens every time. Someone comes and screams behind my back, or some honking noise and all. This time I'm hoping it works. Forgive me for any background noise you get. I am shooting this video in my parking lot of my society, and yeah, certain things are beyond my control. Yeah. So, good evening, YouTube. All the bikers around the world. I hope everyone is keeping safe. Today we are going to talk about an ownership review where I'll talk about the pros and cons of owning a Ninja 1006. I'm not going into the specs of the bike. You will get that from anywhere in the web. I'll tell you about some points which I felt you should know as an owner of the bike. It will probably help you decide if you want to buy this bike or not, as and when you decide to. So I'll start with the pros. The first pro would be the engine. It's sweet. It's that good. A lot of times I have thought I'll sell the bike because of its weight or whatever it is, but the moment I ride the bike in highway, I forget about selling the bike. The engine is that sweet. While on the move, you will not feel the weight. The bike is really good at its weight management. The center of gravity is really good, even though it weighs 238 kgs. A lot of people would ask about the fuel efficiency. I get this question a lot during my signal stops. Someone will come and say, "Bhai, कितना देती है?" Well, I would say that depends on your wrist and the throttle, how you actually manage the throttle. For me, I usually ride it at probably 80 to 120 kmph while on highway, and 60 to 80 while in the city, and I have got a maximum of 27 kilometer per liter. That is in highway, and in city I have got around 16 to 19 kilometer per liter. I mean, depending on the traffic. You can do 80 to 120 kmph all day long, that is kilometer per hour. My preferable cruising speed is around 80 to 100 kmph, but the engine is really good. All day long, 80 to 120, and the engine will not complain. There is a cruise control in the bike. Because of the ride-by-wire throttle, they have been able to manage the cruise control in the bike, and that cruise control works seamlessly. I have a lot of times put it at 80 kmph and I just cruise without any hassle. This windscreen, the adjustable windscreen does a good job of deflecting the air. The only thing is that depending on your height, you may have to adjust it to the right setting. For my setting, where I am 5 feet 10 inch, I put it at the middle setting, as in it can go either way from this setting. So too high and it gives me a lot of buffeting, and too low and it gives me wind blast. Again, based on the height you can change it, but it works. It really works. Braking. Now I'll come to braking. Neither too aggressive nor too sloppy. It's just the right balance. Basically, I have not had much complaint with the braking. It's good. Brake pad changing interval is also decent. For me, it's around 8,000 kilometer where I change my brake pads. You can go for the Kawasaki, you can go for the EBCs. I usually use EBCs. A lot of people have told me that EBCs or any other aftermarket brake pad could eat away the disc faster, but I think I don't know, 25,000 kilometers I have done till now, and the discs are pretty good so far. The tractability of the bike, lot of torque. I think 111 Newton meters of torque. That shows actually. Even in 6th gear at 1500 RPM, you can pull cleanly without any stress in the engine. You don't need to downshift to cleanly pull from that low RPM. Basically, at any gear you can pull. Now, so much of pros. I think you have got a lot of information about why you should buy the bike. Now, let's come back to the cons. There are a few. I don't think the cons overweigh the pros for a person to not buy this bike. This bike is really a brilliant bike, but yeah, nonetheless, cons are there, and I'll tell you exactly what all are the cons, or as much as I faced or I understood. The weight, it's the biggest con, I would say. Even though at riding speed or at cruising speed, you don't understand the weight at all, but while at standstill, you do feel that weight. How? It's very difficult to handle the weight if the bike tilts in either side. You would not be able to pick it up if it falls on either side. You need someone to help you out. At least if it is falling on your leg, then it's very difficult. You definitely need a help. And if you make a fall in the parking while standstill, expect your foot peg to surely break. Though you can fix it very easily, just find an aluminium welder. I have had this problem. I have experienced it multiple times. I have gone to the aluminium welder, I have fixed it. The problem happens here. Here. So this area breaks and it falls down, and then you'll have to just go to the aluminium welder and fix it. But otherwise, it's good. I mean, I don't think you'll face much problem there. The tire rims are strong, the alloys, but what I have found is they develop bends probably because of deep potholes if you ever have to go through those potholes at higher speed. But I think you can probably fix it. In the service center, they have got this plastic hammer which they use to hammer it and make it straight again. That's the only thing they have done to my bike, at least. The tires. The stock tires are good. I did not find much problem with them, but now I'm using Vedestrine, the first pair of tire, that is the stock ones. They lasted for almost 8,000 kilometers. No, that was almost 16,000 kilometers. I'm sorry, my bad. And then I changed it to Vedestrine, and since then I haven't faced any problem. I think the Vedestrine probably would have a longer life than the stock ones. It's Apollo Vedestrine. You can find it, find the correct size for Ninja 1000 in their website. The lights. I think the stock lights may or may not be sufficient. Again, it depends from person to person. For me, it was not, so I had to put an auxiliary light, which I have fitted here. This one and this one. It's fitted low so that it doesn't act like a deterrent while the traffic is coming from the other side of the road. It acts like a fog lamp. But yeah, it's good. I have used Baha Designs light. You can use Mad Dog also if you want to. There are lots of options for that. Now, coming back to quick shifter, doesn't work that seamlessly. I would say the downshifts are good and the upshifts are also good, but at times what happens is it is clunky. Like it's not as smooth as any of its competitors probably. Um, at least the downshifts probably takes a lot of effort than any other thing. Upshifts are still okayish. The service cost around 8,000 to 9,000 Indian rupees, per service, unless you have to change any part or so. However, the service interval is 6 months or 6,000 kilometer. Please remember this. For other manufacturers like Triumph, etc., you have 1 year of service interval or probably 10,000 to 15,000 kilometers of service interval. So on an average, you may end up spending probably a bit more if you are buying a Kawasaki. I mean, say probably 1,000 to 2,000 rupees in Indian currency. For other countries, I don't know about the specifics, but for India, that is the case. Yeah. Another thing is no free servicing like Honda or Yamaha. So from the first service itself, you have to pay. Like Honda and Yamaha do give you like free services. Previously, when I had the R3, I got free services. The first three services were free. That is the labor charge was free. Um, Another problem is, I mean, touch wood, God forbid, it should not happen to anybody of you. But if the bike meets with an accident and you need to replace parts like fairing, etc., you need to wait almost 2 months. That's what happened to me. I mean, I had got a hit from one of the idiots on the road. I was just standing, he came and hit me from the left, and this entire fairing had gone for a toss. This took me more than almost 2 months, more than 1.5 months to get fixed. Even though insurance gave almost the entirety, I had to spend almost 1,88,000, out of which I spent around 6,400. The rest was being borne by the insurance. Yeah. So that's that. It takes a lot of time to actually procure the parts. So that is the biggest challenge for them. One more problem is you would not get Kawasaki service center in every city. Most of the big cities do have it, but small cities may or may not have the accessibility or the availability, and hence, if you want to do a cross-country tour in your Ninja 1000, you need to be very careful and plan a lot of things. I mean, if any parts go for a toss or go bad during a long tour, if you don't have a service center over there, then you will be in trouble. Now, the last thing would be the factory fitted horn. I felt it wasn't enough. I have actually gone and changed the horn to an aftermarket. There are lots of options. I would suggest something which isn't extra loud or extra mellow. I mean, you'll get a lot of options. There are Densu and all these things. So that's that. I think this much is the con of the bike. It's a good buy, I would say. The pros and cons you will find in any manufacturer, any bike. But having said that, it's a very good bike. And almost 25,000 kilometers, and I still don't feel like selling it. Like, this is the 4th year running for me. 4 years of ownership, and except that accident where the bike was there in the service center for almost 2 months, I haven't faced any big issue. So yeah, I mean, if you want to go for it, go for it. It's a good bike. With that, I would like to close this video. Yeah, I haven't been able to put a lot of videos of late. I'll try to put more, and if things go fine, then January or February there is something new coming. I'll not tell you now what it will be. I'll just give you a hint. There is an adventure coming. Once that comes, I'll make a video of that as well. I'll make user review for that as well. Yeah. So see you soon. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video has helped any of you in your buying decision. That will be a really great thing for me. Thank you so much. Take care. Ride safe.